Happy Victory Monday, folks. In this video, we're going to be talking about good and bad news in regards to the injury front. The latest right there. We're also going to get into a trade idea / rumor from Bleacher Report. I'm going to go over it, give you my thoughts on this one and the latest Lions news to keep you up to date. But before we get into today's video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you want the Lions to win, you hit that like button. Hey, I asked to do that last week, and yesterday we won the game. So let's get into the good news first, and that's Brian Branch. Yes, Brian Branch. We seen him in the game, hobbling up, looking like he got dinged up at the end of the game. Little concern there. However, when it comes to Brian Branch, it's good news. That's right, it was cramps. No big deal, and even a great sign for that. In the post-game press conference, Brian Branch was out there talking. He talked about many subjects, the game obviously, Ben Johnson and how he felt disrespected, the team felt disrespected, and betrayed. When he talks on a post-game, he's good to go. Brian Branch, good to go for the Ravens game. And we need all hands on deck in this secondary. The Ravens offense, a great offense. They can run the football. They can pass it, mobile quarterback. Got to have a guy like Brian Branch who can pretty much do everything, right? Safety, cornerback, linebacker, all over the field. And the way that Calvin Shepard has been working the defense, especially containing the mobile quarterback in the last couple of weeks, got to have a player like Brian Branch on the field. So that's amazingly good news if you ask me. Again, if you want the Lions to win, smash that like button. It's proven. We did last week. Now, Marcus Davenport got dinged up twice in the game yesterday. Shoulder, also with the lower leg. He came back in after the lower leg. And in the shoulder, that's what happened in the game, at the end of the game. Marcus Davenport talked to the media after the game, would not discuss his injury, but was spotted with ice on his shoulder. We don't know the severity of the injury for Marcus Davenport, but doesn't seem to be something serious, at least at this moment. Now, Dan Campbell, I believe, has a press conference a little bit later. Maybe he'll give an update on there, but it looks like it may not be too serious. Still, when it comes to Marcus Davenport, the concern is, can he stay healthy for 17 games? And it is clear that cannot be the case. And so, thankfully, we had Al-Qadim Mohammed, who was doing pretty well, if you ask me, in place of Marcus Davenport. But again, seeing him get dinged up so quick in the game, that is just absolutely terrible, if you ask me. It's terrible. It's bad news. It's not good. You know, we don't have the injury news there, but it's literally a game and a quarter into it, he was already injured. A guy whom we got to rely on. A guy who we're supposed to be utilizing opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. And when he got injured, it was on the sack. So if he's already dinged up, the odds of him being healthy throughout this year is extremely low. And that is something that definitely this week we're going to talk about in regards to trade deadline. We're definitely going to get into that this week because the Lions have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. So we'll talk about that something a little later that week. Let's get into some good news now. You've seen a Chicago player's offensive player hurting on Aiden Hutchinson's leg, and you've seen him limping around. He seemed fine after the game talking to the media. Looks like he is not going to be significantly injured at all, and that's great news for him. But I got to say, absolutely terrible news for the Bears, man. Trying to hurt Hutchinson, and it was something I didn't like to see. It was irritating to have that occur. But it looks like he will be fine. We'll see how he does when he returns, right, to practice and everything. But in my opinion, Aiden Hutchinson is fine as of right now. Bad news. Shane Zylstra. He suffered injury in the first half of the kickoff. he went to the locker room, and he was downgraded to out initially with an ankle injury. He was in a walking boot after the game. So, look, Shane Zylstra is not a starter, but we still talk about injuries. It looks like it's probably going to be an ankle sprain. We don't know if it's going to be the lower or the higher. The higher ankle sprains obviously last multiple weeks. Lowers, generally a little bit less. But he is a backup tight end, right? We got Sam Laporta, we got Brock Wright, then you got Shane Zylstra. So if all the injuries, this is the one that the Lions, I guess, could afford to hopefully, if it's the longer-term one, that would be the one you'd say. Who should get the game ball after yesterday's victory? In the comments, let me know. And the Lions got a big game next week, Monday, week from today. Lions are traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. And the Lions are a significant underdog at 5.5. Total over and under is 49.5. I would honestly take the over right there. I think that both these teams can put up 25 more points. The Ravens' defense is not good. The Lions will be able to score on them, and the Ravens got a really good offense. I'd look at that. Of course, the favorites are the Baltimore Ravens. Now, remember, the Lions traveled to the Ravens a couple years ago when we got our butts kicked, right? We got curb stomped in that game. So the Lions have an opportunity, and these players, they remember that. They sure do. And so it'll be exciting when the Lions, they have an opportunity to go back to Baltimore to get potentially maybe steal a win. And I think they potentially could. Now, I got to go over tape and everything and for both the teams, and I'll try to get that out by Wednesday. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I honestly would take the points at 5.5. I'd take the points. I think that the Lions could sneak up on a lot of people. Could sneak up. One-on-one versus one-on-one. It's going to be a great game. It's not a must-win game for the Lions, but it's a great way for them to show out. Now, the Bleacher Report, Christopher Knox did a trade idea for Mazi Smith. The Detroit Lions says, Smith was viewed as a raw prospect coming out of college and is always expected to need time to develop. He's still 6'3", 337, former first-round pick with a tremendous amount of untapped potential. A change of scenery might be required for him. So he's saying the Lions should go ahead and take a thing on Mr. Mazi Smith, should make a trade for the big O gigantic player from Dallas. That's what they're saying there. Go get him. What would they want in this trade? Mazi Smith, Lions get him. And we only have to give up a 6th-round pick. Remember, the Lions got 2 6th and 2 7th-round picks. So if they wanted to give up some talent of a prospect of a 6th or 7th rounder, they absolutely can do that. He's had 31 solo tackles, 23 assists, 2 sacks in his career. And this is why I'm going to say the Lions won't be taking a jump for Mr. Mazi Smith because it doesn't really make a lot of sense, if you ask me. Because the Lions, first off, are pretty good in regards to the defensive tackle position. We drafted Tyleik Williams. And remember, we do have Lee McNeil eventually coming back. Same with Joshua Pascal. So the Lions are getting talent on the defensive line slowly coming back. So if they were going to utilize a trade, wouldn't you think it'd be the better idea to trade for a pass rusher instead of position where, honestly, at defensive tackle relatively soon, we're going to be pretty solid at that position. So if you like the Lions, go ahead and hit that like button. That's all you got to do is hit that like button. Easy to do so, and it's not hard. When I look at the game last week, and especially for going against the Ravens, this is the one thing I want to talk about for a little bit. What Calvin Shepard did so far to Jordan Love and to Caleb Williams in regards to containment has been very good. Something that the Lions have struggled with defensively for many years is the inability to contain the mobile quarterback. So far in 2 games, the Lions have done a great job, and Caleb Williams is a really mobile quarterback. So far, so good in regards to the Lions' defense in containment. Now, that gives me hope for Lamar Jackson. He is the ultimate mobile quarterback. He is the ultimate dual threat quarterback. Now, I don't expect us to completely contain Lamar Jackson, but if they can just at least slow him down in regards to his legs, the Lions will have a chance to win that game. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's a tough thing to see if they're going to go out there and contain Lamar Jackson. But if they can, they have a chance. The Baltimore Ravens defense can be had, and the Lions offense have just shown that they can blow up, right? They can put up a 50-burger still like they have the last couple years. So it's going to be interesting. But one big takeaway, Calvin Shepard may be happy with the mobile quarterback. So give me your thoughts about all this stuff in the comments. With that said, folks, adios.